Has anybody else ever gone on YouTube and looked up Roblox DOORS and scrolled a little too far?
Nope.
Just me? Okay. DOORS released to the Roblox platform in 2021 and it changed the world forever. I could never see the world the same way again. I can't even look at a door without thinking of Seek. I can't even use the word figure without editing in a PNG image with a vine boom. The world is starving for DOORS content. Please open the game. Quit gatekeeping. I'm mostly making this review out of necessity because a lot of you guys wanted me to make more videos about Roblox DOORS. Even the creator of this game wants me to make a video. Expect a longer video once the entire game comes out because Pressure is legitimately a pretty solid game. And since the game isn't even fully released yet, don't expect me to have the most well thought out opinions because I'm mostly neutral regarding the original DOORS anyways. In case you haven't guessed, this game is very similar. Regardless, there's still a few interesting things to mention about this game, so here we go. I'm Bredian, and I talk about niche Roblox games, and today I'm talking about Pressure. Probably the best Roblox DOORS fan game I've seen thus far. The game's premise follows you being transported to an underwater base in order to retrieve a red kidney stone. Think of yourself like Ada Wong in RE4, except you don't get to kiss Leon S. Kennedy. The amber is stored in the core of the underwater facility, and you have to make your way there by going through doors. But this facility is home to a lot of DOORS entities. First of all, I'd have to say in terms of DOORS fan games, this is the best I've seen thus far, even if I'm not exactly a Roblox DOORS connoisseur. The animations are well done, and this is probably the first time I've seen someone try to construct something different other than just trying to title their game DOORS Floor 2 or DOORS but bad and cheap, but mostly really bad and not funny. In other words, this game is derivative, but not in a bad way. It does something original with the concept. And yes, I know DOORS is based off of Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion. Please stop leaving comments telling me that. I like the submarine that takes you to your destination and its little animations, like how it leaves once everybody's out of it. Usually Roblox horror game lobbies have stuff like cars and whatnot, and end up just teleporting you into a basement or a random field, completely ignoring the car concept. It's refreshing to see another game recently that doesn't forget about what's happening in universe. There's still a lack of catchy music though, like Elevator Jam. Anyways, Pressure's gameplay revolves around you going through doors. Who would have guessed? Admittedly, I'm not the biggest fan of going through doors over and over again, especially when it comes to DOORS fan games, in which it's just the same thing every time, but in terms of Pressure, I actually got the opportunity to see new monsters with their own animations and sound effects, so it was a pretty enticing experience, at least in that regard. One of the monsters hides in lockers, but you can see his eyes glowing and him drooling from underneath if you observe carefully. Another one of the monsters is a squid-looking thing that attacks you if you shine your light on him for too long. I like this concept, except for the hand-drawn one. I think it looks out of place. I told you, Zeal, it looked out of place, and you put it in the game anyways. How dare you? I also like how it gives you a brief window to turn your light off. You can even edge him if you want to.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
There's also a shark monster that damages you if you look at it. You know, like Eyes from DOORS. Except this time he's kind of scarier because he talks to you and pulls your camera to look at him. Also, there's sound effects that give him a much more sudden arrival as opposed to how Eyes just kinda fades in. You can also flash him with the flash beacon and enrage him, and this makes him considerably much more difficult to avoid staring at. It's like as if he took a photo of Ice Spice and taped it onto his forehead. Yeah, you'd probably die if you flash him. There's also this monster that will attempt to fool you by spawning a wrong door, and therefore you're going to have to pay careful attention to make sure which door is the real one, and yeah, he's just duped from DOORS, I know. Although, apparently I've been told that this guy was not stolen from Dupe and instead was based off of something else. I can't quite remember. Regardless, the Dupe is pretty cool because his animation and sounds are unique to separate him from DOORS regardless, as well as the fact that Dupe will just play a number game with you while this guy will do a lot more. Like, sometimes you'll literally have to listen for him behind the door because the numbers are the exact same. Another one of the monsters is just Rush from DOORS, but more interesting in terms of presentation. There's also multiple variants, and I'm pretty sure one of them doesn't make noise. I died to him, and that bothered me. There's also an entity named Pandemonium who will try to force you out of a locker. His minigame used to be different when I first played, but now it's a bit more difficult. Yes, I also died to this one. And lastly, there's this creepy little guy who teleports you back to your friend if you get left behind, akin to Void, but done a lot better. The death screens are incredibly done as well, and you're greeted by the merchant character, as well as a case file on the entity that killed you, that of which gradually becomes more and more filled out as the more times you die. The merchant character is amazing as well. I know he has a name, but he said the words, "What are you buying?" and that really made my balls hot.
Got a selection of good things on sale, friend.
Sorry. Pressure also features a variety of items and utility, one of which is a hand-cranked flashlight. You can crank it up and it makes a funny noise, but it doesn't let you spam the crank over and over again. I can't fidget with it while I'm walking to the doors. Like, I need something to do if you're not gonna put subway surface at the bottom. I can't live. Overall, Pressure isn't a surface level game. Yes, it's inspired by Doors, but even if you refuse to admit the fact in your criticism, you can't deny that this game has genuine creative elements, as well as excellent technical bits that work hand in hand. This isn't a Doors Floor 2 game that's meant to trick people or make money off of Doors by selling $7.99 USD crucifix game passes. It's made by a collective of people who have genuine appreciation for its source material and took what they could from it to make something in their own vision. Ignoring the fact that I was slowly groomed into covering this game, I can't really think of anything wrong with it at this time. A lot of people like to rag on me because they claim I only make negative reviews, but to answer that, I make positive and neutral reviews as well. It's just nobody watches them. An obvious critique with these types of Roblox horror games is that the game kills you and you have to buy revives, but the creator said that you'll be able to buy revives with in-game currency. How the hell is he going to make money? Anyways, I'm Bredian and I talk about niche Roblox games. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll be back to cover this game again. Also, I cover horror games like this all the time, so be sure to check out my channel and watch some of my other videos. As always, thanks for watching, bye.